All right, here we go. Here's a review video of Secret Wars 2, Marvel Comics from 1985. July of 1985. Ronald Reagan is president. Jim Shooter is the EIC of Marvel Comics. He's doing a great job. Like Dan DiDio, he was a creative person and often found himself creating and writing comic books as well as juggling everybody else's problems. And this is something that he wrote. He created and he wrote Secret Wars 1, so now he's doing a follow-up sequel. Working this time, unfortunately, in my opinion, unfortunately, with Al Milgrom. No, it's a fact. It is a fact. It is an unfortunate thing that he has Al Milgrom drawing this. No offense to Al Milgrom, but he's no Mike Zeck. Mike Zeck drew Secret Wars 1. We got a stellar cover here with John Byrne. John Byrne drawing Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler right out front and center. He's got three of the biggest X-Men here. Happy to see him drawing the X-Men again in the year 1985 of our Lord and Savior. Here is Captain America. The New Mutants are back here. They feature in the book quite a bit. I kind of feel, who is the Beyonder? Well, we get to see what he looks like. Here we get to see what Al Milgrom's approximation of evil, pure powerful evil might look like in physical form in later issues. And spoiler alert, it looks kind of like one of the Bee Gees in a disco jumpsuit. Here's an anti-Semitic ripoff of E.T. To sell some Reese's Pieces. I don't know why they couldn't just put out and get E.T. to be in this ad. Surely this is Hershey. They have a lot of money. Why couldn't they get E.T.? I don't know. Anyway, I kind of feel like our boy Jim Shooter might be a Republican a little bit. This comic book is a clown show. It's incredibly entertaining. It's silly. It's commentary about American life. Here you have Molecule Man, incredibly powerful guy, living a very bland domestic life with Marcia, who is Volcana. And look at them. They're just sitting here watching Hogan's Heroes. I see nothing. Ha, ha, ha. So they're watching comedies about German prisoner of war camps and enjoying it. And then all of a sudden, the world kind of falls apart. And they, they're really low IQ. They're a really low IQ couple, but they seem to be in love. And they're going to do what they can to, oh no, it's the Beyonder. He's flinging dirt through the air. Oh my God. Which way, Western Mail? The creamy center of a crunchy Oreo chocolate sandwich cookie. Let's see here. Yeah. Bang, got it. Look at this kid right here. Great. Terrific fun. I love the ads. One of the answer B. Oh, there were 3 different options. I didn't even notice that. A. I guess these ones don't work, but I chose B and I got it right the first time. I love the advertisements. People wonder why comic books were able to be so inexpensive back then, so cheap. Paying all these artists' salaries, keeping the doors open at Marvel. It's because they had sponsorships from Nabisco, from Hershey's, which left you with fun advertisements like this and paid the bills. I mean, really just kind of kept the doors open. Look, here's another one, Tootsie Roll. Okay, yeah, like you look at this and you just go, yeah, this is me. I'm a white kid on a bike. Let me get some Tootsie Rolls and maybe I'll win. I don't know. Anyway, New Mutants are here. This is Al Milgrom's art, which I gotta say, I don't know if Al's still around. Is Al still around? I hope so. God bless him. His art was one of these. He's one of these guys that when he would draw a comic book, you would kind of just imagine it was somebody else drawing the comic book. His artwork is it's okay. It's adequate. It's never dynamic. It's never that pleasing. At least to my eyes. I'm sure there's some people who would argue. Mike Zeck, on the other hand, his artwork was so exciting. It was so cool, iconic. Like he created so many great images. you can't, like, even if Al Milgrom were a more sophisticated artist than he was, there's not much that he could do with the fact that Jim Shooter is here playing a constant drum solo, and just asking for these panels, multiple panels per page with like multiple figures on each panel. Figures are all doing things. All you can do is draw these tiny little, everything's really small. Nothing really jumps out at you. It's just all storytelling. And a ton of just gibberish here. Look at this. Just everything's like Waka 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 with Jim Shooter. Like, here's a 747. Captain America is sitting here, flying coach. And, I really appreciated this line. An unusual passenger stoically endures the agony of a coach seat designed for who? Smaller, less imposing figures. Yeah, that's correct. And that's why I need a seatbelt extension when I fly coach, because I'm big and imposing. That's one of the reasons. So Captain America, here we have a black guy. Captain America's giving a speech. He's like, "Hey guys, look, this is for the good of the entire world. Please, like, sit and stay calm." This guy's like, "Brother, give me some butter and some corn. But give me some butter and some salt for this corn. This is corny. Yo, he being corny, y'all. And yet, there's something about this guy. You just have to believe him and trust him." Well, he's Captain America. Once again, just thinking as, being an artist, what it would be like to be given a panel like this and to have all this dialogue and to know that I've still got to tell all this story on the page and provide room and space for a caption like this. Like, you got to be kidding me here. This is crazy. Flashback to Secret Wars 1, and all this, like, Doctor Doom goes mad, like, with the power that he's stolen from the Beyonder, and he couldn't handle it. And this is the illustration that you come up with. This guy, like, here's Doctor Doom with his mask off, crying on his knees, and Captain America, who looks like he's got, like, 3 pounds of poop in his diaper, just standing there like, what? That's the illustration. But I mean, I don't know what else you're supposed to do in this postage stamp size panel, and you still got to do all this. You've got to convey this idea of Doctor Doom kind of relenting, giving up, going mad with power, letting it go. And then, I guess just put Captain America standing there watching him like a dummy. And that's the magic of Al Milgrom. Because, when again, the sort of mediocrity of this, I just read it. I didn't look at it and go, wow, this is amazing. I just kind of read it and moved on. And I guess that's what, good comics should do. I mean, not great comics, but just good comics. Here's an ad for Secret Wars 2. The war continues. Secret Wars number 2, guest starring all these guys. Right here, this says number 1 in a 9-issue limited series. And you could see this cover here. I got that right here. This is issue number 2. And I wonder if, and I don't know, but I wonder if, this cover's by Al Milgrom, by the way, as you can see. Like, there's Al Milgrom's signature. I kind of wonder if Al turned this cover in. How could these characters aren't even in the? No, I guess not. I wondered if, like, he turned this cover in, and Marvel said it's just not good enough. We got John Byrne on the line here for a better number 1 cover. Maybe not though, because like I said, yeah, Fantastic Four, Luke Cage, Black Costume Spider-Man, She-Hulk, of course, took over the Thing's spot in the Fantastic Four back then. 1985, he was on other planets wrestling. He was a wrestler in outer space. It was pretty substantial. Here's the Beyonder. He shows up, and it's just waka waka waka, ha ha ha. Here he is. He's taken an amalgamated form of every superhero that he interacted with on Warworld or Battle Planet or whatever it was for Secret Wars. Molecule Man is like, hey, how you doing? Enjoy yourself. Volcan is still watching reruns of Laverne and Shirley. And I guess this is Jim Shooter's commentary on, again, just a sort of blasé attitude of Americans as they consume, consume, consume. And then a powerful force shows up and tries to comprehend it, and it might lead to their own destruction. I don't know who drew this, but like whoever drew this, welcome to immortality. Like this dumb, awful drawing of Thor that looks like it's been photocopied 11,000 times, with a B, with 3 B's on it. Is that for Bell, Robert Bell? B for Bell 3 times. Silly. Anyway, this has been in every comic book for 50 years. So, I mean, that's pretty good. All right, who cares? You know, they go and they get Magneto. Professor X said, "Magneto, I need your help." By the way, look at Colossus striding into this room. See, this is what I'm saying, man. It's like there's nothing that you can do. You have a panel where the X-Men burst in to fight Magneto, but you can't do anything with it because, you know, you've got all of this storytelling that you had to do as well. You know, when the Image Boys showed up, like this was no longer a thing. Like this would have been a half-page shot, and you know, like somebody like Jim Lee or Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, they would have slammed these panels together and made them almost inset panels, or maybe combined them all so that, you know, this would have more space and more impact, more room to breathe. All right, let me see here. Oh, so he goes to Hollywood. That's where the Beyonder goes. And in Hollywood, you know, this is where this is interesting. I don't know, like, if we're meant to. I mean, this makes me think that Jim Shooter is like a Reagan Republican. This whole thing. You got a Hollywood writer who's yelling at his agent Marty, who is probably Jewish, and it's 5 a.m. He's angry. He's throwing a fit. Like, look at this. He's got long, goofy hair. He lives like a slob. This is weird. He's eating all this McDonald's and stuff, and he's yelling about the hypocrisy of the crap that he needs to write. He's yelling about the A-team, like, you know, with the violence where the bullets never hit people, and he's angry at Reaganomics. You can see here. I mean, this is not a sympathetic character at all. He's very, very angry at stuff. This is just it. You know, most liberals, as presented in comic books, and thank God for this, although, you know, they lack any self-awareness. Like, radical leftists do not understand that, like, they've been lampooned by the very people who I think are meant to endorse their views in comics, and that's almost everybody who works in comics. They're always screaming. They're always, like, insane, like giving these diatribes, boring diatribes, you know, that are just like, I hate the human race because of this behavior, that behavior, the ease of American life, you know, the two-dimensional shallowness of our culture. You know, I hate that I have to be a writer that does it for the money. Meanwhile, his girlfriend's like, "Hey, Stuart, the cartoon you write is on." So, I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, he's sitting there saying, I want to write more things that have impact and that actually tell people about what violence actually looks like. And it like, the guy pays his bills with cartoons. He's like, I think Jim is trying to say that he's a huge hypocrite. He's a big part of this sloppy American culture that he hates. And sure enough, like, you know, the Beyonder shows up. The Beyonder has taken the form of Molecule Man now, because he doesn't really know what he's supposed to look like yet. And yeah, he's just like, what do you want? Well, what does a leftist actually want more than anything in the world? Power. That's what he wants. He wants power, and power is given to him in this way. Like, he becomes this silly looking superhero. Looks like this is a nice, like, kind of Walt Simonson design here. But he becomes a superhero while his hot girlfriend is still watching, I think, John Travolta in Grease or Saturday Night Fever here. By the way, you have to imagine, like, adults like Al Milgrom, even though it's 1985 here, like, adults like Al Milgrom are, like, you know, we're boomers. Like, we perpetually live 10 years in the past. We're angry at the culture from 10 years ago. So he's probably angry about disco still. He's angry at Saturday Night Fever. So this, you know, whore, this trollop, is sitting around watching Saturday Night Fever. It's 1985, man. Disco is dead. 1985 new wave is practically dead. Like, we're moving on to heavy metal, heavy metal, hair metal. I think in 1985 is kind of the new thing. But no, like to Al Milgrom, he's not really following any of that. He's still angry at disco, and he goes on to prove that when he designs the Beyonders costume. It's interesting. Boomers never change, man. We're always the same. Like, I'm still thinking Britney Spears represents. Like, to me, Britney Spears represents youth culture. Like NSYNC and stuff, but obviously the kids who listen to NSYNC are in their 40s now. But I resented it when it happened. So here he is. He's going to go take revenge. You give a leftist power, and immediately they start destroying everything. This guy's destroying NBC studios where he worked. NBC. He's angry that NBC has censorship and is restricting him from saying what he wants to say, and so he's scaring everybody. He's destroying his ability to make a living. Really, I mean, that's the punchline of all of this. And he's going to fight the X-Men. I mean, it's good. I mean, Al's doing the best he can. Look at the piles of dialogue on this. Like, you really do need to settle in to enjoy a good Jim Shooter comic. You're going to be reading characters. By the way, characters don't even. Not only do they speak their mind, they think their minds too. You got Cannonball here, who's a Southerner, and not only does he speak with an accent, he thinks with an accent. He's thinking with an accent. Makes sense. I reckon I'm almost invulnerable when I'm rocket blasting. Like, why are you thinking with a Southern accent? Like, you probably, I would think that your inner monologue would not have an accent. It would just be sort of, words, right? Thank God. I mean, thought balloons, they kind of got rid of those for that reason, I guess. And once you can see people's thoughts, I don't know. Who knows? All right, Captain America shows up. And, look at this. This guy just will not shut up. He's a leftist. And this kind of leftist is talking about sort of, again, consumer culture. Like, Jim Shooter isn't really going to talk too much about politics or communism. He's going to talk about consumer culture. Is that your best, pitiful best champion of Ready Whip, Fortrell polyester, and Ryan Homes? What is a Ryan home? Is that like I have to look that up. It sounds like a prefabricated home there. So again, like, this guy's happy to be fighting Captain America. Thrilled to be fighting Captain America. Let me see, because Captain America, of course, represents America. Yeah, look at this. Oh wow, look at this Wolverine. Look at his little teeth here. I would have eaten this up as a kid. I mean, I would have just been so happy to see the X-Men fighting anyone here. Anytime the X-Men are in a comic, I'm there. I'm reading it. I love it. He has knocked Captain America down. He says, no matter, he's hurt. And now for the coup de grace. You're a Republican, aren't you? Well, now there'll be one fewer. Well, there you go. Well, there it is, folks. Right, spelled out for you in black and white. Who knows? Anyway, his powers get taken away, and he is fat, probable, like cuck. And then he's got to beg for mercy and cry and plead once he's brought to justice. Oh, no. Oh, what have I done? Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Man, look, there he's just crying. Nobody hit him or anything. He's just, what a miserable scumbag. And then the Beyonder, look at Captain America walking away. Look at this panel. You got to do all of this storytelling on one. The last panel is Captain America walking away. Captain America walks away from the battle, and the Beyonder, in a ghostly, invisible form, follows him onto the next adventure. And this is what you end up. Look at his shield. Look at his big leg here and little head. It is very funny. So, next issue, I'll take Manhattan. And on we go. Be ahead in 1985. Only 52 cents a copy for Marvel subscription. I subscribed to Fantastic Four, even though the drugstore wasn't too far away. But I was like 52 cents rather than 60 cents. That's a pretty good deal. Well, it's not a good deal, because what they do is they take your comic book and they throw it in a magazine mailer, which is just sort of like, it's wrapped. There's a kind of wraparound of paper bag material, like the same brown paper that they use for paper shopping bags, and they just throw it in the mail with a, and so by the time you get it, it's wrecked. Your comics are all wrecked. And if you just want to read the comics like they're magazines, I guess that's not a big deal, but most of us actually wanted to collect them. Look at this guy right here. He's like, just try to steal this bike, homie. Just try. Huffy. Huffy BMX, man. That's what it was all about in the 1980s. Just popping wheelies. Putting what we called pegs on the back of your tire here so that you could put your feet on it and pop a wheelie. Stand up on your bike, Yeah, it was a different culture back then. Reach for the stars, guys. Reach for the stars. Look at these. He's got his hand on his shoulder. He's got his hand on her shoulder. I don't know what that's meant to represent. But Secret Wars 2, hilarious. I'm going to read Secret Wars 2, number 2, and I'll probably give you my thoughts on that. But really, I'm going to be spending the day dwelling on this particular issue. Hey, and also working on Cyberfrog 3. Hey guys, the link to go back Cyberfrog 3 is in the description. Go over there and support my comics too, please. Hey, thanks very much. I will see you again soon with another video. Bye.